Hey, well, greetings. This is Discovery of Self. Today is June 25th, 2014. I'm Yanaf, and we have Kareem. And today, Erin, our member, is not here yet. She may or she may not. And we are pleased to have our guest, Awesome. That is how you say his name, Awesome Watson, a young brother that we're so excited to have. He's all about health, which we love because we're all always learning to eat better and just treat ourselves better. So we're excited to have him, and he's going to enlighten us with his journey. He has a very interesting journey. Um, so welcome, Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. It was my honor to be here. I appreciate it.
Yes, I know that I've been, when you first contacted me and everything, I was quick to be like, yes, you should come be a speaker on our show. And you didn't think I was gonna be that quick. You probably was taken by surprise.
Yes, but what you guys have going on is amazing. It's great that you get a group of conscious people together, and if you get enough conscious people together with a set vision, magic can happen. So I love what you guys have going on.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate that. It's still in infancy stage, and we're happy about it, and we're glad. We always get excited, like kindergartens, that people want to come and just share their experience, their discovery of themselves. So we're quite informal. So I tend to be really bubbly and talkative, and hopefully Kareem will take the torch this time. Because last time we had a lady and it was like a girl talk, but he didn't, ask some questions and everything. But basically, we just want to know your journey because you have an interesting one. I read it, and to how you became currently who you are right now. We're always progressing, but just your journey thus far in your 21, 20, 21.
22.
22. I want to make you younger. 22 years of life. So we just want to know your story.
Okay, well, I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York. That's Western New York, and I was your typical kid growing up, pretty much. Around the age of 8, my teachers they began to notice that I was had to be real close up to if I was reading a book or something, I had to have it real close to my face. So they suggested to my mother that I go see the eye doctor. And from that appointment, they discovered that I had cataracts in both of my eyes. And from there, it just generally progressed. So as I aged, through my teenage years, my eyes got worse. I ended up needing to have about 12 surgeries to stabilize my vision and save the little bit of vision that I have now.
Mm.
So that was a big time in my life, and I on the outside it looked like I took it well. As far as school academics go, I was still up there at the top of my class, and from the looks of it, things were still going well despite what I had going on. But actually, on the inside, I kind of closed myself down to my situation, which as I got older took a lot more time and patience to deal with. So from having all those surgeries and procedures and medications, it took a toll on my body. So I was 19, 18, 19 years old in college, and my body just pretty much gave out on me. So after I took a semester off for medical leave just to try to bounce back, and I began studying holistic health and spirituality, and started reading more holistic views on different topics of life. And as I started studying and applying these things to my life, I noticed not only did my health get better, but my mental health got better. My emotions were more stable. My relationships got better. I was able to effectively communicate, as where before I was real closed down to everybody. I was more open. So from there, I decided, this is great, and I have to share this with people. So I went and after I finished school, I went and took the training. I went and took a few trainings to be able to coach other people on how to live more holistically and how to look at the body from a body, mind, spiritual perspective, opposed to just the human body.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, because I did it, the health issues that you had at such a young age and then come into your teen years, that must have been a challenge because that's when you're changing and you know your body, your mental, your emotion, everything is changing. And then to top that with, you know, the surgery that you had to had and then that kind of takes a toll on a young person's, you know, it does on an adult, but from a young perspective, it really challenges you. So how were you able, as far as like your support system, how were you able to kind of cope with that during, like, say, your adolescent years?
My family, they were very, very supportive, and my mother, she was real. She made it a point to let me know that just because I wasn't necessarily the same as the other kids, that I could still do the same things that they do. So she still expected me to bring home A's on my report card and things of that nature. So my family around me, they treat me like I was just any other kid. So that definitely helped a lot. As far as my own mental emotional state, I I trained myself to believe that just be I have to work twice as hard as everybody anyway for certain things. So I want to work 4 times as hard so I could be twice as better. And though that got me through, my adolescent years and my general education with some success, in the long run, the neurosis, the faulty mental pattern that I developed, it came to bite me as I got older.
How so?
Just taking things too seriously. So feeling like opposed of if I was trying to do an activity and I wasn't necessarily too good at it, and knowing my situation with my vision, I probably shouldn't be too good at it. In my mind, wasn't like,
Mm,
oh, I can't do this because I can't see it. It's, oh, I'm not good enough to do it. It was more of I took all the energy away from my vision. I didn't want nobody to think that I can't do anything because of my situation. So when I did fail in certain things, I really beat myself up personally about it.
okay. I wanted to, you said you took a month off during your college year to recuperate and everything like that. So during that rest and relaxation, what were some of the things that I know you read and you kind of researched, but what kind of trigger? Because everyone has that point where they're like, okay, I got to do something different. Like, what was it for you that started that journey towards, you know, a better you?
Okay. So as I began studying different principles as far as health and life goes, I found mentors along the way. And those mentors pointed me in certain directions. And even though, I'm a book smart kind of guy, so it's easy for me to process knowledge. But as far as applying it that's where I had issues before in the past. So as I was studying all these things and, learning, I had the book smarts. I knew how to live a healthy lifestyle, even though I might have not necessarily applied it. I know that, maintaining inner peace is necessary for evolution, but in my day-to-day life, I was still living a hectic lifestyle. And one day, I was walking, and I think I was just waiting for a bus, and there was a book sitting there on the bus stop. I believe it was called Awakening. I'm not too sure of the author's name, but that was I read that book that same night, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things, and from there it went on from there.
Hmm. What a appropriate title, Awakening. I've not personally read that, but that kind of seems to just be right in tune with what you were going through at the time, you know, what everyone could relate to, you know? So,
Yeah, it's funny how life works out like that.
yeah,
If you open yourself up to things, the circumstances and people, they walk into your life that you need to grow. So that's amazing.
it is, and I don't think nothing is a coincidence. So it was meant for you to see that and read it. So,
Excuse me. If
yes,
I could chime in.
sure. Oh, sorry, yes, Kareem. I was just gonna ask you. Go for it.
Okay. You mentioned your mentors. And I've read in one of your blogs. You mentioned that Elliot Hulse, he has a YouTube channel on like weightlifting and also like holistic health. Like,
Mhm.
how did he become your mentor? Like, do you know him personally? Do you know him in real life?
Yes, I've met Elliot. I first stumbled along his YouTube channel, when I was 18. I was at that point in time, I was really into working out and into the gym stuff. So I was looking for a video on how to front squat, and I just happened to find Elliot's video, and it was interesting to me. So I just happened to keep going through his videos, and as I kept going on, I started learning more about him. And if you go through his videos, he's a very, very interesting and very intelligent guy. And he was at the time, being an 18-year-old kid, he was talking about concepts that just amazed me at the time. So through there, he started a group called the Non-Job Revolution. So it was basically how to escape the rat race. So how to quit your 9 to 5 corporate job that you hate, and how to live your passion and get paid for it. So that's actually how my health and life coaching business started. And from there, he has strength clinics. So down in Florida, they have events where weightlifting and things of that nature. And I've been to a few of those, and I have the chance of meeting him. And he's a great guy. He's an amazing person.
Cool, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, Ellie is an inter I've watched many of his videos. He says it like it is, which I like. So he's a breath of fresh air. So it's like, you can't be faint of heart when you're watching him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. Carmen, did you wanted anything else?
Yeah, sure. When you said when you were taking drugs and all that, because and all the surgeries and stuff you had because of your eyes, uh like uh like what kind of drugs were they? Were they drugs that you had to take long term, or you like how did you get off of them? And like um what do you think? What are your thoughts on the medical establishment? Do you think that the procedures and all that stuff that was done to you, do you think it was necessary, or do you think that like it just made whatever problems you had worse?
Okay. So as far as the drugs go, I have a disease called macular degeneration. So though they require pretty strong eye drops a few times a day, and I started these drops when I was about 11 or 12 years old, and I would take them and like pass out. I would just sleep for the rest of the day because the drugs were so strong. And I took those for a very long time. I don't take them now, of course, but and as far as when actually having a procedure, all the antibiotics and extra drugs that goes along with that. So as far as me being able to get off them, you know, living a healthy lifestyle and eating a real food diet and being conscious of how much I work on the computer has allowed me to free myself from actually having to take the drugs. As far as the procedures go, I feel like at the time, you know, the because of course I was in adolescence at the time, so the adults making the decisions, I feel like they did what they thought was best. So even if necessarily there could have been other means, I understand their decisions as far as the process that I had to go through. Knowing what I know now, I do believe that I had a lot of surgery that I didn't really need. But I'm grateful for everything because if everything didn't happen, if it didn't unfold the way it did, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. So as far as I don't regret anything as far as the way it panned out, but I do believe that I had a few surgeries that I didn't need to have. What was the last question? The medical establishment?
Well, I guess like like what are your thoughts on the medical industry? I guess maybe prescribing medication and I guess symptom management rather than trying to find a cure or
Oh, okay. So basic allopathic medicine